2020 was a pivotal year for the workplace. The COVID-19 pandemic changed the way in which we work overnight, shifting a huge percentage of the workforce to remote, some of whom may never return to an office. Additionally, a cascade of incidents demonstrating racial injustice held up an unflattering mirror to the inequities that still exist in our society, institutions, and workplaces.
Employees are struggling. Women and people of color have disproportionately been impacted by recent events. A recent study showed that 2 million women are considering leaving the workforce due to the pandemic. And it's especially impactful for women of color who are already underrepresented. Employees are also really calling for employers to step up when it comes to diversity, equity, and inclusion initiatives. And the feeling is that the waiting is over. The time is now.
Mentoring has proven to really make an impact in diversity, equity, and inclusion initiatives by supporting women and people of color in their careers to really be able to meet their full potential and accelerate their career paths. Before the pandemic, isolation was already a challenge for many people in the workforce. Now, post-pandemic, with the remote workforce, that issue is becoming even more critical for organizations to tackle. Fortunately, with our new virtual mentoring offering, we'll be able to help combat that sort of isolation that people are feeling both physically and emotionally, by connecting people from diverse walks of life and helping them connect with one another so that they can really benefit from the social interactions that they're no longer able to do in the workplace.
Remote work looks to be here to stay, in many ways, with some organizations even creating new roles to focus specifically on the employee experience for remote workers. And leaders with experience in diversity, equity, inclusion, and belonging have never been in higher demand. Employers who are facing these challenges head-on will benefit in the long term when it comes to employee retention, engagement, and satisfaction.
We see mentoring as a way for us to be able to transfer knowledge between generations in our workforce. So we have quite a few people who have worked in the industrial real estate industry. We have a need to be able to transfer that knowledge to, kind of the new wave of our workforce. Mentoring allows us to create organic connections in a very geographically dispersed company. These are connections that can't be created in a classroom. So it allows people in different countries and offices within our organization to connect with each other and learn from each other.
Chronus was founded over a decade ago with the mission of really enriching people's lives through the power of mentoring. What sets us apart is the history that we've been able to offer mentoring to some of the world's leading organizations, and taking that and turning it into the best product in the market and best practices that other organizations can leverage to be able to run effective mentoring programs for their workforce. In a more modern setting, with the world moving to a remote workplace, we've also really invested heavily in our virtual offerings. What that has been able to do is to help people feel more connected in a remote setting so that they're able to have face-to-face conversations, talk about some of the challenges they may be facing in this new world, and be able to overcome some of the challenges that we're all feeling so that they can really reach their full potential by engaging with their mentors and using the Chronus platform to be able to do that.
One of the things that we love about Chronus is that it removes those barriers of connections that you typically see in mentoring programs. So, the need to continually be engaged, check in with your mentor or mentee. The platform does it all. And so with the integrations with technology, all the participants need to do is just follow directions and carry the conversations on and use their knowledge to teach people, and takes the hard work out of mentoring.
Organizations who have created enviable company cultures understand how critical it is to create strong connections between employees, to cultivate empathy and understanding, and to develop inclusive leaders. They understand how creating a culture of mentorship helps the organization succeed.
We are so fortunate to work with some incredible organizations who are doing great things to support both their remote workforce as well as diversity, equity, and inclusion initiatives within their organizations. They're doing really creative things and finding ways to ensure that their workers feel supported.
The future of Chronus is full of possibilities. Mentoring is needed now more than ever, as the workforce is moving into a remote environment and people are looking for new ways to connect with one another. That's how Chronus can really make a difference, and that's where we see the future in Chronus, by being able to provide access to mentors globally for a diverse and remote workforce so that everyone has the same opportunities to reach their full potential.
Visit Chronus.com to learn more or request a demo.